Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is ExperiencePoints here with another of the Axis missions from the Stalingrad campaign for Unity of Command. Here we go for our next mission in Voronezh. Or I'm sure that could be pronounced a lot better. And here we go. So, back from the start. This mission is easy as far as in the scenario description, yet it is quite challenging. Your objectives here are these points by turn 3. Your supply is upon the road, and unfortunately as well as here, you will find that it is better to, I particularly resourced +1 all of the range 4 and made sure that was kept safe. So let's just get in. Make sure you place these weak Hungarian infantry units with German infantry units, as they have a 3 times better defense rating. Quite simply, break through the lines and use your aircraft to disable, or rather suppress, the German tank. The Soviet tanks. So your German tanks can break through. And obviously just picking off where you can. It's important to push through and to try to get as far to your objective as possible. They will, as in the Soviets, will continually create lines of resistance, and if they do that twice, unfortunately there won't be enough manpower to attack. So you're then coming up from the south, and you notice that I've kept my supply line completely secured. It doesn't quite matter if after the next turn they aren't, but in the first turn it certainly does. Okay, he's been particularly stubborn, but we break through the lines in the south, and we just attempt to suppress the Soviet tanks. The tanks are the greater issue because of their mobility, as opposed to any other trait. You can outrun the infantry, but the tanks will always bottleneck. Now, I didn't just, in this particular situation, force them out, because I probably could have gone 1 or 2 steps further. As you see, I could have gone 2 movement points more. Problem is, they will cut it off and then use their own airstrikes to suppress that unit, effectively destroying it. So it's more important to have a unit fully equipped as opposed to suppressed. And then I just had another airstrike. Although I randomly use. I don't know, this wasn't really smart to do that though. But considering I did have multiple infantry, that was okay. It doesn't matter if they take the supply point, it means nothing, because you are fueled up from the south. Here we go. They will attempt to pinpoint an assault, but if you can survive, you got no worries. German infantry are quite resilient and generally won't withdraw, but the Hungarian troops always will. Within this game, of course. So as they move to counter, these troops aren't withdrawn back, which is kind of strange. And there is the suppression, which, yay, nothing happened on the first one. The second one, no worries, because you get resupplied 3, you'd say, points per unit when you begin your turn. You're always resupplied at the start of the turn. So the infantry have gone to make another line. So here we go. Increase our range on our supply source, and I move the units from the back so that I can, hopefully, if there's a breakthrough, I can push the forward units through. Which is what about. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm out of supply here. I'm just trying to push through to get onto this part, because they can attack next turn without worrying about supply issues. And you will need every single unit here, because this can be quite tricky. So we're just doing a bit of a cleanup. I'm not overly fussed about these units back here. I did disband that unit, hoping that one of these would reach, but it was actually kind of pointless because I had to use my attack values into my movement points. This is just mostly cleanup. The infantry cannot engage the objectives, so there's really no point in doing this. Perhaps if you wanted to make sure their zone of control couldn't affect these units, then maybe. Otherwise, this is just throwing infantry at infantry, just to keep the map clean. Which is still going, just keep hammering on. With some good results there. And here we go. Armor is certainly the key to winning this objective on time, as they are the ones that are really going to matter. And here I'm just throwing units in because I can. This guy really hasn't had much of a use, but there we go. So more importantly, bringing in these units, then here we go, suppressing this tank, because we are going to want to skirt around the next turn. We'll take note, the reason I moved this forward is because my supply line was not going to be able to get to this. So it's highly unlikely this unit will be able to use next turn. So that's why I moved it here. So it hopefully will be resupplied, but it is important to keep these lines, but if it's not, then maybe it could have been done without that unit. Whenever you do attack or suppress these units, they don't seem to move them off the objective, so it is quite easy to weaken this unit, if possible, like that, and prepare it for the next turn. So we're just trying to get some units forward here and across the river. There may be a chance that they can attack with a let's see, with a 3 range, so they may be able to engage. Okay, and just attacking for its own point. So here we go. They counterattack, and will attempt to capture the line. So there we go. They will still encircle, and so this unit will not be able to be resupplied, unfortunately. Ooh, that was nasty. And again, yep. If you do have the specialist step of the 88 flak cannon or gun that can be used, then you can stop air attacks in your hexagon and all surrounding hexagons, which is quite handy, but it wasn't an option in this particular scenario. So here we just go around, quite simple, and capture. And if you want to attack for its own point, then yeah, why not? These are just mostly throwaways. So here we go, attacking with 2. Oh, that was a brilliant result right there of air suppression. That's the third one, and one more. This unit isn't that difficult to overcome. Crossing the river, I want that unit to attack last, so that while hopefully something can still move, I would be able to, let's see, 4 turns, yeah, no worries, and it's actually a bridge, so yeah, I want to attack it with my back unit, so that if I had to go in, I could attack here in its most weakened state. But there we go, armor certainly wins the day here. So just going from the start, seeing you basically need to punch through, push your armor forward while keeping your line, replace these Hungarian infantry units with German units, so you keep that line supplied, punch through and push up to here. Remember not to overextend, otherwise you could lose, have a unit surrounded and then isolated by airstrikes. And then yeah, keep your line supplied for the first turn and then keep pushing through. You want to be on turn 2 definitely up here, even if it means you're out of supply. But mates, that's how it's done. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and gained some experience from watching it. Cheers!